All right, I think everything's working except me tonight. Good afternoon, good evening, everybody out there listening on shortwave and tuned in on our YouTube channel on W5KUB.com. This is Amateur Radio Roundtable, and this is a show about ham radio, shortwave, and electronics, and we're glad to have you. If you're out there listening on shortwave, that's the way many of us in ham radio got started many years ago. We'd love to hear from you. Just let us know how you're hearing the station, WBCQ. And if you would, just send us an email to tom@w5kub.com, tom@w5kub.com. We'd love to hear from you. You can also join our live video show on Tuesday nights just by going to w5kub.com and clicking up here in a little yellow button at the top that says video and chat, and you'll be on a show with us, and we can communicate here with you through our chat room. If you're out there, please hit the subscribe button. It's right down there. I'm showing you right where it is, right there. So, no excuses. Hit that subscribe button. Hey, hit the like button if we do anything you like. Please hit the like button and hit that notification button. And that will notify you if we put anything new on here, other than our regular scheduled times, which we do sometimes. So, hey, tonight we got several things going on, and it's going to be an interesting night. So some of the things going on tonight, we're going to visit Martin Jew in Martin Jew's office tonight. We're going to give you an update on W5KUB 113. Hey, and guess what? Hambot is here. Hambot is here. Hambot is going to give a prize away to somebody in the chat room tonight. So that's going to be cool. I want to talk about a new project I'm going to probably get involved in here. It's kind of something I was kind of involved in many years ago. But I'm thinking about trying it again, and we'll tell you a little about that a little later. And hey, our Facebook group, join that Facebook group if you can. It's for the show, and anything ham radio related. We've got over 14,000 people in the group now, and please join that. We had a little excitement on there this week. We had a few people that got really upset about something that Glenn and I said, which we're going to deny we said it because we went back and looked at the tapes and we didn't say it. And we're going to talk about things. And, one of the comments was the show is boring. This show is boring. And it probably is. I've realized that for the last 6 or 7 months. And, I'm wanting to fix that, and I'm asking for help. And, you know what? This week, I made an effort, and I went out to 71,000 hams. We took our message out to 71,000 hams and asked them if they would, give us a segment, come on the show, talk about things. For instance, ham radio for beginners, or in-fed antennas, or parks on the air, or stealth antennas, or homebrew projects, and more. So I sent that out to 71,000 people. And man, oh man, wait till you hear the response I got. This is going to knock you off your seat. We're going to be talking about that after a while. And maybe, we're going to work on this boring show. But, I should say this in the last segment. But no, I'll wait till the last segment.
Save it.
They kind of stirred me up a little bit on there. But, I'm pretty free-willed, and you can say just about what you want to. We do take constructive criticism on our Facebook group, and hey, do it if you want to. I don't care. All right. So, hey, Glenn, how you doing tonight, man? Come on in here, Glenn, and say hello to everybody.
Hey, I'm doing good. Typical work day, of course, but not too many of those left. Just been working away. I'm tinkering on a couple things in the lab. And we'll talk about this in a little bit, but also getting ready for the ARRL, or not the ARRL, but the Day in the Park here this weekend over at the Olive Branch City Park. So we'll talk about that in a little bit.
All right, and that's coming up this weekend, right?
Yes, sir, Saturday.
Man, normally I would go to that, but guess what? I'm getting this left eye yanked out Thursday. 2 days from now, man, the countdown's on. This eye, you know, they're going to take the lens out, and I'm going to get an implant in there, and then guess what, man? If I don't die, 2 weeks later, they're going to do the same thing to the right eye.
Do the other one, yeah.
They're going to do the other one, man. So I don't know how things are going to go, but hey, you know. Anyway, I won't talk any more about that right now. But hey, hey, that's going to be great down there. They're going to have food and everything, right?
Yeah, we're going to have food. We're going to have rigs. We're going to have tailgating, DX card checking. Let's see what else. Food. Did I mention food?
Yeah, you did. you mentioned food.
And we're also going to have a couple little mini forums there. I'm going to be doing an Arduino forum, and they're going to be giving away a couple copies of my books, and I'll be signing those. But we've got several forums going on there. So it's just going to be an all-around, fun day.
Yeah, okay, cool. Man, I wish I could be there, but just not going to be able to make it, man. Not going to be able to. Maybe next year we'll make it.
Maybe next year.
All right. Let's see. Yeah. Brent says that if the event involves hams, there's got to be food. Maybe we should give out some food on the show here. Yeah, that might work.
That might work, yeah. And we do have raffle. Matter of fact, just for showing up, you get a free ticket into the raffle.
That's right. Everybody tonight is going to get a chance here. A Hambot's going to talk to you. And let me tell you, a Hambot came to us today and says, hey, it's been a while since I've been on. I hadn't been on since, Huntsville, and I'm starting to get a little rusty. We oiled him up. He said, I'd really like to get on today.
Your audio just went away, Tom.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
I'm back. That was Hambot. Hambot took my audio away when he came on.
Yeah. By the way, there's no video on the Zoom link, but I don't need to see you.
Oh, well, that's simple to fix. There's just so many things here you got to set when you come on. Let's see. Multi-viewer output capture. Bam. You already get
there. You go.
Yeah.
Now I can center myself.
Yeah, I'm there now. Okay, very good. All right. Well, hey, great. Anything else going on that we need to know about?
Well, I've got some news, but I'm going to be sitting on it for probably another week or two. But it's not ham radio related, really. But I'll tell you off air. But
okay.
We're gonna sit on that until it actually happens here in about a week or two.
All right. You're not getting married, are you?
Oh.
Okay. All right. I just thought it might be something big like it. Okay.
I don't think I found a willing victim yet.
Oh, okay.
So I'm still working on that one.
Okay. All right. Brett says if you're sitting on it, it must not be really hot.
No, it's actually kind of cool.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Hey, this past week, we had the FEMA test. You know that turn on everybody's cell phones and TVs and all that. Did it get you?
It not only got me, it got me like 3 or 4 times because I've got a work cell phone, a personal phone, and my new personal phone did it in both English and Spanish, and then an hour later it did it in Spanish again.
Oh, wow. Man.
So I by this point I was already ready to go home from work because I figured if the world was ending, I might as well not stay at work.
Yeah. All right. Well, hey, it worked.
Guys, we're at MFJ.
Yeah. Don't start him up yet.
Be quiet over here. Be quiet. All right. Well, I don't even know what I was going to say now. But anyway, hey, the test came off okay. Nobody panicked. Nothing happened. We did really well with our test. We also picked it up on several of our devices, Oh, hey, I've got something here. Hey guys, just let everybody out there know. We've had some audio issues, like left channel only or right channel only or something like that, and we've had some audio issues in the past. And even tonight, I had a wireless mic go bad. I want everybody's help in the chat room right now. If I can get you guys to help. Let me see. I've got a audio test here I want to run with you guys. Let me check it here and see if I got it. Yeah, I've got an audio test I want to run with you guys, and if you will, turn your speakers up just a little bit. You may not hear it. So turn your speakers up. Glenn, I don't see you turning your speaker up.
I have headphones.
Oh, well, are they turned up pretty good?
They're turned up pretty good.
All right, turned up pretty good. So this is an audio test for the show tonight. Let's just see if it'll work. Anybody in the chat room got their speakers turned up, their audio turned up? I need somebody to listen very closely. No, it's not 1,000 cycle tone. It ain't. No. Actually,
we don't do mundane stuff like this.
It's a much lower tone. It's pretty monotone. Okay, here we go. Let me see if I can get it going here for you guys. If I can find the right button here. All right, make sure your speakers are turned up now. Okay, here we go. Here we go.
ਉੱਤੇ ਮੰਗ ਕੇ ਕਰਦਾ ਹੋ ਦਰ ਦਰ ਦੇ ਮੈਂ ਟੁਕੜੇ ਮੰਗਦਾ ਉੱਤੇ ਮੰਗ ਕੇ ਕਰਦਾ
All right. Did you get that, Glenn?
Yeah, I got that.
Did it come through okay?
That was in Feel-O-Vision, man.
It came through okay?
Yeah.
All right. You hear that little tone at the end, that ding?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Oh, let's see. Too late for that. Messages, send money. Yep. Okay. Okay. Well, I didn't go over as big as I thought it was going to be, but I thought it was going to go over a lot better than that for sure, man.
Oh, I'll have to send you some of the memes I get at work. I got good ones.
Yeah.
ਹੋ ਦਰ ਦਰ ਦੇ ਮੈਂ ਟੁਕੜੇ ਮੰਗਦਾ ਉੱਤੇ ਮੰਗ ਕੇ ਕਰਦਾ
All right. Okay. Hey guys. So just so we don't have a boring show tonight. Oh, first let me say a couple things. It's been a busy week for me again this week. I've had some kind of crud for like over 2 weeks now, and I got the sniffles tonight. Not doing really good. But anyway, we got the granddaughter married Sunday night. So that was an all-day affair. And I'm fixing to get real busy the next, probably the next 3 weeks or so. Like I mentioned to you, going to have, cataracts removed, an eye implant here. Doctor visit next day. A week later, doctor visit. Then a week later, they're going to do this eye and take it out and put the implant in. And then a doctor visit the next day. Then a week later, the doctor. So, hey, going into November, gee. I'm going to be really busy, okay?
Scary,
so,
huh?
I'm going to be really busy. And I hadn't had a lot of time this week to do a lot of things, although I did look through some of our archives, and I found a really good, I think it's a high-quality video with Martin Jew down in his office. And the audio's good. It's about 18, 19 minutes. It's not very long. And I thought we'd watch that tonight because there's probably people on here that have not seen that before. And I don't know, I can never see it enough because every time I look at it, I see something new up there and different. And it's just,
his office is amazing.
Yeah, it's amazing there. Hey, and then after that, Hambot is going to be with us, and Hambot is going to give out a prize to somebody out there. Bing, bippity bop. There we go. Hambot's going to give out a prize tonight, sometime right after that. So everybody stick around for Hambot there. Okay, let me see if I can get this thing queued up here. And I think I can. This will be pretty interesting, I think. And hey, I'm gonna queue it up, Glenn. Where if you want to talk or say something, our audio is going to go over it, okay? Just like we did on other videos previously. So.
All right, no problem.
Let me see if I can get that up. Oh, okay, that looks pretty good.
Hey guys, we're at MFJ.
Okay, we're here at MFJ. Okay, here we go. Let's see how this thing going to work out here.
Here with Martin. Man, it's always fun to come here. All this great stuff to look at, old stuff I grew up with. I don't know. Oh man, I feel like I'm in heaven here. Hey, cameraman Walter. Walter's with me today. Walter's our cameraman. Walter,
take a shot at some of this vintage equipment over here, and we're gonna step inside here.
Yeah, there's VFO from Night Kit, from Heat Kit. There's some that whole stack are VFOs. Most of them are HW16s. That was a novice receiver transmitter, not.
Can't believe he's got that many HW.
I know it.
Um,
I know it.
And,
I mean, one's
there's
enough.
some old test equipment there.
Oh my gosh, those old Heat
this
Kit
is a
signal
general
generators.
radio oscillator that covers
Or those
from
the
half a
VOMs,
megahertz
that
to
may be the
50
VOM.
megahertz. It can put a watt out. I mean, you can use that as a transmitter. And this device here is how they used to measure the resistance and reactance of loads like an antenna. And there's some more bridges down here, and just some more signal generators over here, and some old
All right.
receivers.
Man, come on in. Walter, bring it on in here. Man, we're going to talk about some of the stuff real quick. Look, man. Look at this stuff, guys. This is little prototypes. This is little prototypes and stuff. I mean, tons and tons of stuff. I don't know if you can look at this or not, but this looks like a little receiver that was prototyped right here. Breadboarded, Manhattan style, where you just solder the components to each other. Am I putting it in the right place?
Yeah, anywhere is fine. Take
All
a
right.
look at that one.
Let's
I
see what this is.
remember that.
This is
That's a regenerative receiver that
Yeah.
I converted to a single band receiver for 40 meters, and you can actually operate and make good contacts with this receiver.
This is a lot of
Well, that's good. There's not
prototype.
much in it too. What kind
Yeah.
of chip is that? That's
That's
is that one of those 602? No,
no, that's
that's an LM 380 3.
let's see,
that the-
381.
is that the
Might be a
audio?
386.
I can't
That's the
tell.
audio chip.
I need-
It's a half a watt audio output chip.
Man, this is so cool, man. Here's a little looks like a little well, this is what the insides to
I think
Yeah,
I made that
tuner looks
into a
like.
Z-match.
A
That
Z-match?
kind of tuner, yeah.
you got all kinds of matches
Yeah,
here. Here's
yeah.
a Z match. It looks like you've built and
That's
I'm gonna pull it out.
Yeah, you can pull it out. That's a L network.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It's got a reversible.
That's
I don't
that's kind of
remember
cool.
this video.
Variable inductor there. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
I like the way you built it on a board there.
Yeah. Yeah. With wood screws.
That's the way to
in it.
do things, man. Ah, looks like some type, maybe a low pass filter or something.
Yeah, some kind of filter.
Yeah. This stuff, you did this so long ago, you don't even remember what some of it is, do you?
Long time ago.
Oh, man. Oh, man, the more I dig in here, I find stuff. I find all kinds of stuff. Oh, boy. You remember what this is?
Forgot now. Looks like some kind of transceiver.
It could be. Oh, man. Someday I'm going to come in here when I got more time. I'm going to dig in this stuff and see what you got here. Let's look at some of the radios up there. Boy, you got some heat kit.
Yeah, those are
HW.
QRP heat kits.
Oh, man, it's the 8s, the
Yeah.
7s.
And
Well,
nine,
he's just got a stack of them
HW8,
HW7s there.
Yeah, yeah.
There's a Drake. There's the power supply for 'em.
And this is a 2B. I had one of these. The guy loaned me one
Could
time.
open
That's
his
a good
own little heat
receiver
kit shop.
there.
Yeah. There's
And
some Tentex over there.
oh wait, what is this? Is
That's
this a
a
101?
HW, yeah.
I bought my first sideband rig. You know, we were on AM when I started out, but my first sideband rig looked just like this, but it was the HW100. And it was, I
Yeah,
guess,
my first
one
one
right
was the
before this
101.
And I built that as a kit. Cost $249 when it came out. Of course, that didn't include the power supply. And you know what? I kept that thing 20 years and I sold it for $249. I sold it for what I paid for it.
Wow.
That was a
Space
fun
Banner.
radio.
I think
That's
we'll
that's
see
the
another
receiver I
one.
had, yeah.
We'll
Take
have
a look
another.
at that tube.
What do we got here?
That's a transmitter.
This is a transmitter
And I think there's a receiver built in there too.
with
Regenerative
six
receiver.
U8 tubes.
Yeah.
Six U8s. All right, that's kind of cool.
And the power supply I took off out of this Q multiplier.
Okay. Well, Power supply maybe.
No, that's an audio
Oh,
amplifier.
is that an audio amp?
Mm-hmm. That transformer is used as a filter.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Well, there's nothing wrong with that, right?
Mhm.
Oh man, look at all this stuff. Well, let's just keep going here. Here's your extended double zip coming in,
Yeah, 180 feet long.
and you got you at an IC 7300 back here. You
Yeah.
sneak back here and operate. How much do you get on that?
A
little
Doesn't
bit?
have much time on it.
Yeah.
There's something that I'm hiding. A new piece of equipment
Hiding
that I didn't
something?
want anybody to see.
What's that? That thing
That's
here?
my new spectrum analyzer.
All right. What?
There's
How
two
high?
leaflets
How high will
back
that go?
here.
Spectrum
It
analyzer.
goes, I think that one goes up to 3 gigahertz.
3 gigs?
Wait. No, it's only 2 gigahertz.
Okay, I've got an IFR piece of test equipment with spectrum analyzer in it. I think it goes up a little over 2 gigs,
Oh,
somewhere in
okay.
that area.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's handy, man, handy.
Yeah.
Let's walk around.
Yeah,
Let's
this
see.
thing doesn't belong back here with all my old stuff.
Let's oh, hey, just take a quick look at this. Hey, Martin, what is it? You said this is a 40 meter,
Yeah, 40 meter
40 meter
magnetic
loop? Magnetic loop. Look at it. Here's a capacitor right here.
Everything's
40 meter
welded.
loop. It's all welded together. Martin says the problem is it's too big. He can't ship it. So I don't know. All right, let's step around. Let's step around into your office over
Okay.
here.
Is
there anything-
I forgot there was something I was going to show
Let's
you.
just look at these other things here. All right, so here's a little gizmo you're working on right here.
Yeah, that's a pre-selected preamp for these SDR dongles.
A pre-selector. So that's going to take out all the garbage coming in on the front end,
Yeah.
and
Keeps it from being overloaded.
that's good. Now, is this something? Are y'all producing this yet?
Not yet, and we're going
But
to.
you will be.
I'm just playing with it, working
Okay.
on it. There's a
Let's see what
little
this is.
preamp that's out of the receiving loop that we have.
Okay. All right, let's step out and let's look at some stuff here. Let's see. Cameraman, you may want to come over this way a little.
Oh
The cameraman this way.
Right.
We're over here, and we got so much stuff to see. Martin, we get back over here.
Okay.
Come on back over. So tell us about some stuff, Martin. Now,
Okay.
I can remember seeing one of these when I was beginning a hand. That would be a nice little receiver for a guy back in 1950, wouldn't it?
Oh, that
55?
that was a very nice receiver back then. You know, when I turn that knob there, that knob just spins because there's a weight on the back of it.
Yeah,
Flywheel.
Now, what people don't realize is, on the new rigs today, that everything's digital. You don't have any realization of how wide a band really is. You just read the digits. Back then, we had analog stuff, and I was showing Walter earlier that 40 meters. Walter, you might try to get a close up here. 40 meters on this receiver. You see the 7 right here. There's 7, and 7 and 7.3. Look at that. There's 7.5. 40 meter band is right there. That's the entire band. And what you do, you kind of get in the frequency you want, and of course the band spread will let you tune that frequency, much more fine tuning. So that's what we used back in AM and mostly CW. Got some Drake stuff.
Hey, let me show you something here that's interesting.
Okay.
This is a national receiver.
Yeah.
This is back in 1950s. The way you change bands is you pull this thing out. And you take that whole drawer out.
Yeah.
And
Put another one in,
wooden
or?
box up there is full of bands.
Oh yeah.
So you just, whatever band you want to operate on, you push this thing back in and lock it in.
Things seem so much better today, don't they? You don't have to have all those plug-ins. and-
Oops.
Oh,
Yeah.
there you go.
Goes.
That's how you change bands, and that's the 7 to 14 megahertz band right there. Cool. All right, so some hit kits here.
Yeah. This is a HW99, which was a 50-watt novice radio.
I've never seen one of those.
Transceiver.
I didn't know about that
It didn't cover 20 meters. It was
Yeah.
80, 40, and 15.
So it was a novice type
Novice,
radio.
Yeah. It drifted like crazy.
Oh, really? This was
I
a
had
good old
never seen
rig
that one
many people
myself.
grew up with
Ooh,
right
I
here.
haven't
the
seen one either.
transmitter. That's the
Let's see.
DX, what's that, DX 20?
DX35, is it 35? Yeah, DX35.
Okay.
Crystal control. Right above it is a
Where's
VFO.
the crystal hole, a socket? I don't see
It's
it.
inside, it's behind it.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right, you had a switch to select crystals
Yeah.
there.
right up here is the first Heathkit transmitter, DX, or
Right
no,
there?
AT1, yeah. I think it's
Okay.
$29.95 back in the early 50s.
Yeah, and there's the socket on here for the crystal.
Mhm.
Let's see what we got going over here. Boy, a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff.
This is a line of our original products right there.
Some of
Right
your
there in
original
the
stuff,
corner,
your
yeah.
keyers
Yeah.
and
When it first started out.
yeah. In fact, I had the keyer and some of those things that you make here. So what's this guy? What is this thing? Is that a antenna tuner?
Yeah,
I got
that's a
James
Millen.
Millen.
Yeah, James Millen antenna tuner. And there's a Heathkit antenna tuner up at the very top, and there's a World Radio Lab antenna tuner, that little light gray one with the gold-looking knobs.
Uh-huh.
And right below that is another antenna tuner. It's made by Latine. I think that's how you pronounce it.
So here's
no,
an
no,
old
Lysco.
here's an old Harvey Wells
Oh,
transmitter.
that was the
No, that's
original
the Z-Match. That's the
Z-Match.
Z-Match. That's not the
The
transmitter.
original Z-Match, yeah.
The Z-Match. All right, now we're getting into kind of some of my stuff here. That was my receiver as a novice, and the neat thing about it was it had 80 through 6 meters, and that was the entire ham band. So if you looked at the one we showed you earlier, the ham band was about 1/8 of an inch long. Here, the ham band is like 6 inches long. So that was a great receiver, and it also had 6 meters on it. This was a matching transmitter to that receiver. I did not have this transmitter. Again, crystal control, your crystals, back when we were novices, you had to plug a crystal in. Everybody had only 2 or 3 crystals.
And that's the great equivalent, the 2NT transmitter and
Uh-huh.
the 2C receiver, which was a competitor of the helicopter
Oh, wow.
right next
I
to
didn't,
it.
I didn't know that.
But look right above that 2NT Drake transmitter, that big black box.
Uh-huh.
That's an instructograph. It had paper tape for teaching you Morse
I've,
code.
I've seen those. I saw one. I've even saw it operate once. That's kind of cool.
Let me
all
show
right.
you one other thing here.
Okay.
See these two boxes here?
Here?
Yeah, they're
Interesting.
the same thing. That was the very first piece of transistorized ham radio equipment. It's a converter for a broadcast band radio in your car, and it allowed you to have ham band only receiver.
That was, see, okay. All right. I know exactly what you're talking about there. It hooked in between the antenna and the radio,
Yeah.
and it was a converter.
And the early version of it is over there to the upper top at the right. That's a Gonset mobile converter, but used tubes.
Oh, that's cool. Now, back over here. First of all, while I've got my eyes on it, there was my first transmitter. This was a kit. It was a Knight T150, 150 watts. The nice thing is it went through 6 meters, 80 through 6. And again, we weren't allowed to use the VFO when we were novices. We had to plug a crystal in right here. But I built that as a kit. Martin, I had what is it? The Helicrafters. I think I had a SS-38 somewhere and I lost it.
S38, yeah.
I don't know what happened to it. But those are kind of neat. Now,
That was the S53 up there.
were these ever good enough quality for a ham to use to
Yeah.
receive?
Yeah, they were. I mean, back then, you used just about anything
Anything
you
you
had.
get your hands on. That's right. Yeah. Today that would be very crude.
It's very crude, yeah.
So this is a nice receiver. Is this the
The
R100?
R100, yeah.
That's the match to that.
Yeah.
That would have been a cool receiver.
They had a built-in key multiplier.
Uh-huh. Let's see. We got stuff down here below.
Oh, yeah. That's
Cool.
the S. This is unique. It's like the S38 receiver that you had,
Uh-huh.
but that had a transmitter built into it.
Oh, see the transmit receive switch.
Yeah.
That is
Now,
cool.
The output tube of the transmitter was the audio output tube.
Was it
It
something like a
doubled.
6V6 or
Yeah, it
something?
was
or-
something like that.
Mhm.
And that's a Hammerlin
Yeah.
HQ 110.
Now, I love the looks of this helicopters here.
That's
That looks
like there's a SX1 110 SX.
S10, S10B?
Let's see.
S10B or
Let's see what that is. Oh yeah, S108.
108?
Yeah,
Okay.
that
That's
was
a
like the
fine looking-
OS40.
Yeah.
And this is a Helicrafter, but it was before Helicrafter bought them.
Okay. So it's carrying a name,
Yeah.
Echophone.
Yeah.
Okay. Got some national
And,
stuff
the
here.
National SW54, the shortwave receiver. And this is one of the early first transistorized transceiver. That's a Yaesu FT7. That's the B model, but the first one came out was a 10-watt model.
All right. Well, let's look on down here. Let's see what we got down here.
That's a homebrewed something that I got off of eBay. I haven't hooked it up to play with it.
Plate amps, transmit, receive, meter. Let's see. Transmit tuning. This, I don't know. This may be a transceiver. I have no idea.
Yeah,
Receiver tuning on this side.
yeah. It's a receiver transmitter.
Yeah. That's interesting. That's nice homebrew kind of deal.
Now, down here are some of the first transistor radios that broadcast band that Heathkit had.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Those are cool. And then the little one. I
Yeah.
remember when the little stuff came out and people started carrying. You could carry it around with you. Then.
This is a Fillmore radio, very much like the first one that I had built. One transistor.
All right. Well, here we got the space spanner. Now, you say that was your first receiver. I
First
think.
receiver, yeah, regenerative receiver.
And you never heard him, never made a contact with it?
Couldn't make a contact with it.
Isn't it terrible, the old stuff we have to try to use? But, you know, we made it work. And here's your...
That's
here's
the
a-
Miko.
Here's a transmitter. This is probably similar to what you had
Yeah.
when you started out.
6V6.
Right here. So, again, we were all crystal control. Here's a crystal for 3757 or something like that. He's got two crystals plugged in. This is how we got our frequency. This is what the FCC said we had to use. And to change bands on this thing, of course, you had to change the frequency of the crystal. But you unplug the 80 meter coil and you plug in, say, the 40 meter coil. And that's how we changed bands. And boy, we had probably a whopping, how many watts, Martin?
Oh, that probably put out 5 to 7 watts.
5 to 7 watts, yeah. Let's see what we got. Well, anyway, hey, the old Conar, I had a friend that built one of these back in the early 60s. This is interesting here because
That's the Johnson. And if you look,
all right, I think that was the end there. Let's see. Well, how'd you like that tour, Glenn?
Oh, his office is always amazing. Every time I get to go see it, it's just
Yeah, I asked
nostalgia
Martin.
city.
I asked him, I said, you know, how do you get all this stuff? What? He just collects it now. He said, this is stuff that I couldn't afford when I was a kid growing up, you know, when I got my license. So now he buys stuff like that and just stores it in. We didn't touch on a third of his stuff there in the office. There was another wall and a hallway that had just as much stuff in it.
Yeah.
Guys, some of his shelves are actually sagging in where he's got those heavy boat anchors on them, and they've been sitting there a long time, and the shelves are actually warping. But
Yeah,
I
every
need-
now and then you'll catch him at a ham fest going through the boneyard looking for stuff.
yeah, I need to get back down there sometime. I hadn't been down there since I think the pandemic. I used to go down there and visit. They kind of gave me a pass. I could walk around in there, anywhere near by myself to Ameritron or hey, there's 7 companies down there, and they're all just almost next door to each other.
Yeah.
You've got, Vectronics and Ameritron, MFJ, High Gain, Cushcraft. All these companies are down there, and they make a lot of their own parts. And it's kind of fun watching them how they make their own parts there. And he's got some nice equipment in there. He's actually got the pick and place, machine where the circuit board kind of rolls through, and the little machine picks the parts off the tape and puts it on the thing, and then it goes through the solder bath, and it comes out. And they've got a lot of stuff down there, and they do a lot.
Yeah. Well, didn't he just get a big new stamping machine?
I don't know.
Yeah, remember he got that big.
Oh yeah, I think one of his machines went bad, and he had to buy another one.
Yeah,
and it was like $300,000 to $500,000, for the machine, man. I mean, so
yeah.
I don't know, man. You ought to see the toroid. You get these devices with these toroids wound. He got this nice toroid winding machine. That toroid sits on there, and it's like a sewing machine. That thing just goes down and back and forth, and it winds that toroid. I don't know how it does it, but it's
cool.
It's cool there, man. Yeah, it's really cool. Let's see. And it's coming back again. Okay. All right. So hey, that was kind of interesting there. Hambot should be joining us here in just a couple minutes. Let's take just a quick break. We're going to be back. Hey, we got Hambot coming up. We got updates on our 1 year in flight. We've got. I want to tell you about another project I've got going here with KU band stuff. It's going to be interesting, and then Glenn and I are going to discuss the nasty post that we got. Some of the guys that wasn't nasty, some of the guys supported us. There was a couple in there that kind of didn't really give us the support we hoped to get, but it's okay. I'm not complaining. And we had one guy that I think the admin officers kicked because they made Glenn mad. Glenn can talk about that later. We'll be right back, guys. We've got a lot to talk about here in a few minutes, and we'll be right back. Don't go away, and see you in a minute.
Signal loss, and at first to be compatible with amateur TV and analog FM mode. Other features of the IC905 include a large 4.3-inch touchscreen, real-time high-speed spectrum scope, easy digital mode settings, high-performance GPS antennas included, full D-Star functions, SD card slot. Aim higher and enter the world of SHF. For more information, go to www.icomamerica/amateur.
All right, I think we're back. Yeah. All right.
Yeah, you didn't see that.
Didn't see what?
There you go.
What did I not see?
What was on my phone that I was holding up?
I saw it.
Okay. Yeah, that hopefully will be arriving sometime within the next week or two.
Another one?
Yeah.
Oh, man. All right.
There's a story behind him, but...
Okay, all right.
We'll tell that when it happens.
All right. Well, look, Hambot just entered the room here, and Hambot is good. We're oiling Hambot up. Hambot's going to take care of somebody and give him a prize here in just a minute. Let me tell you what. Let's see. Hambot, you there? Let's see.
Looking good.
Yeah. All right, so Hambot is with us here. Hey guys, let me tell you what we're going to give out tonight, man. We're going to give some lucky person. Hambot is going to give some lucky person a genuine Syntec volt-ohm-meter. This is a 7-function meter. Let me tell you something. You might think this is cheap, but I'm going to tell you something. If you're out in your car or truck out in the boonies at night and your car breaks down, and you don't have another meter, this meter here is worth $1,000.
Let me tell you something. Those are not bad little meters. They're very rugged.
You know, I think 2 weeks or 3 weeks ago, we tested this meter against a fluke meter, if you remember. And the accuracy on this meter was just about right on what the fluke meter was.
Exactly.
You know, I mean, it's, you know, it's not a beautiful meter, but anyway, this is a 7-function digital multimeter. It says here, get accurate readings, DC current, AC voltage. It's got a transistor tester in it, a diode tester, battery tester. It's got all that stuff in there, you know. And look at here. Hey, you even get...
I use those all the time. I got one in each car.
You even get a card. You get a card from the show. We're going to put that in there. Let's see. Let me see if Hambot is about ready here. Let's see.
Yeah, I'm with Brett. I've got them everywhere.
Hey, Hambot, tell me right before you go. Are you ready, Hambot? Okay, Hambot's ready. So, hey, let's crank Hambot off here. Let me see. Where's Hambot? Here everybody. Hey, does everybody understand the rules here? Okay, Hambot pretty much gave the rules. Just try to be quiet. Watch for your name. If Hambot calls your name, you win. If you say I'm here or yes, or you hit a period, or you just got to do something. And if you do something in the chat room, Hambot will see you and we'll know you're there. Now, if you don't enter within the time frame, if Hambot says the time's up, Hambot's going to call somebody else, and you can't argue with Hambot. Yeah. All right. So, okay, there's Hambot right there. He called in.
Here we go. KB7
yeah.
Charlie Papa.
It look like we're looking for a mic here. You hear Mike? Oh, is that? Did he answer?
Nope, that's not Mike.
No, that's a different mic. That's a different. Oh, is that a mic? No, a Hambot again,
Nope.
right?
He's got 45 seconds.
All right. Hey, the time is the chat room, not what Glenn and I say on video, because video was delayed by like 20 seconds or so. Oh, we got a winner there, Mike. Look like Mike won.
Mike.
KB7CP Mike won the 7-function digital multimeter, and he won that with probably at least 30 or more seconds left, you know?
Yep, he had time.
That was pretty good. All right, very good. Well, hey, Mike, we'll get that sent out to you just really quick here, so you should have it in a few days, and appreciate you going along with us and playing here with Hambot. I was going to say something, Glenn, but I forgot what I was going to say.
Well, I got something here.
What do you got?
Remember that really nice voltmeter you showed the other week that you got?
Kathy, let me take that with you.
The
the nice volt. Yeah, the voltmeter, the 001 or whatever. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I went online and was going to buy one, and I looked. They have a battery-powered version as well that runs off of lithium batteries, and I got that one.
They do. I noticed that. I didn't know that when I bought mine. In fact, I thought, hey, I might just figure out a way to put a lithium battery in this thing, and it'll run when I unplug it. But, man, that thing, I opened that thing up, and it's got a lot of electronics in the power supply area.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot.
I actually, when I went online to look, I saw the lithium battery version. I'm like, there we go. That's mine.
That is a beautiful meter. It's a nice looking meter, man.
It's got a meter, frequency counter, everything you could want in it. So yeah, it's going to be my new desk meter.
Yeah, it is. It is so cool, man. Oh, hey, I'm happy, man. Hambot came to see us tonight. We had a good visit there with Martin. Let me do this. I got a blister right there. I don't know what caused that blister. I'm trying to think. Oh, I know what it was. I was trying to dig up a buried treasure. I don't know if I
didn't find it.
I don't know if did I mention it on the show a while back that I buried a treasure when I was growing up. I was probably 10 years old, and I buried a time capsule in my hometown. And that was 65 years ago when we buried it. And I went up there this weekend to try to dig it up. It's in somebody's yard now. There was no houses there when we buried it. But we know exactly where it, I know within about 5 feet where it is. But they weren't home, and I didn't want to dig somebody's yard up. It was actually out in a ditch. It was out in a ditch there next to the road. And he didn't have this great-looking grass there, but I didn't dig it up. I had a probe, and I was probing there, trying to see if I could hit it. I knew about where it was, and I didn't realize it, but it made a blister there on my hand. But we gave that up. I didn't want to, damage his yard or anything. I'll get back with him later, but guys, I think there was some important stuff in that in that time capsule. I think we had probably a nickel and a penny. Might have had a dime in here. I don't know. Had a couple pictures in there. I feel like maybe some newspaper clippings. I think there was a Mad Magazine article in there.
Oh man.
I just don't know what else was in that time capsule, but I know right where it's planted, and we're gonna have to go back and dig it up.
Yeah, you're gonna have to.
Yeah. All right. Hey guys, let me tell you what's going on with W5KUB 113, and this is a couple days old, but I can show it to you. You can see 113 has been going around the world like crazy. We broke a year. We have now surpassed a year. We are at 369 days of flight. And I was just looking late at the last plot, and man, it's right up to the equator. I think it may be going across the equator. It may go back into the northern hemisphere, which might be good because in the wintertime you don't have major big high storms. So
Yeah.
we've been flying down in the southern hemisphere all this time, and now it's starting to become summer down there, but it's going to be winter up here. So if Larry Darrell and his other brother Darrell can maneuver 113 up above the equator and keep it there, where you see those other four laps right there, if he can put it back in that flight plan, we might be able to make another year. Now, the altitude is still good. The altitude is hanging in there at 49,000 feet, which I think that's about what it was when we launched it. So it is, it's doing really well. I don't know. Will we make 2 years? Probably not, but
That's phenomenal.
Something
It really
something will
is.
finally, something will finally get it. Something will finally get it. And
Yeah, but still, that's just absolutely
Yeah.
amazing.
so we haven't flown. We hadn't really flown anything since we've launched that one because we keep waiting for that one to come down. And
Yeah.
so man. Okay, hey. I want to talk about something. It's not ham radio, but it could be. And I'm trying to find something new to do here. I built my satellite system up with the azimuth elevation rotors and all that. It's working. When people are out in the open, I've got a lot of trees here that block it. In wintertime, that's going to be better. I got all the radios I want. I was trying to find something different to do. Back in the late 1970s or early 1980s, C-band satellite was a big deal, and it was coming out, and I actually homebrewed a C-band satellite system, built a homebrew receiver and all that, and started off with an antenna that was called a spherical, and I've got some pictures here of the actual antenna, or me standing in front of it. But let me show you what a spherical is here. A parabolic doesn't have a true arc. A parabolic doesn't have. You can't take a string, and make a curve out there. A parabolic is I don't know. I'm not having a very good time explaining it. So. But a spherical is completely symmetrical, curved. It's not parabolic. So here's back then, of course, we couldn't get many dishes back then. And here is a spherical that was built. This one was actually put in use up around Alaska. This is a spherical antenna, and I'm going to show you the one I built here in a minute. But that is built out of angle iron and 1x2s and chicken wire, basically. And let's see. Let me go to antenna here. All right, there's me standing in front of a 20-foot spherical. You can see it's pretty flat, and it's got a specific, just very steady curve to it, both from top to bottom and side to side. And that's a spherical antenna. And the way that you didn't move that antenna was fixed. And the way you got the different satellites, you moved the feed horn. I don't know if you can see on that picture or not, if you see some little sticks or tripods sticking up out front, those are different feed horns. I think on this one there's 3 different feed horns setting out there to pick up 3 different satellites. And the signal would bounce off that. It would be if the signal came in and hit that at 30 degrees, it would go off at 30 degrees, I guess, or something. But anyway, so you'd set these, you'd set your LNAs, back then it was a low noise amplifier, out at the appropriate place. So one satellite, it may be sitting directly in front, it may be 5 foot high. If you wanted to get the next satellite over, it may that feed point might be 3 or 4 feet over to the left or right, and it may be 2 feet higher. So you'd have to put it at the proper place. Here's a picture, a close-up of the side. These are really old pictures, black and white pictures, but these were from the 70s. So again, if you look closely there, angle iron, the angle iron is straight. And then what we did, we put bolts through, like 8-inch bolts through the angle iron, and we put 1x2s on there. And then by tightening the bolts, we could curve the wood on that frame. So we curved that wood to be a spherical, and then we cover it. We covered it with, I think it's called hardware cloth. Yeah, chicken wire has a lot bigger holes in it, but your hardware cloth may have little, 1/4-inch square holes or something like that. So we would cover it with that, staple it on there, and there I am in front of I think that's a 10-foot one right there. Now, a friend built that one. He actually curved the sides on it there a little bit, but a 10-foot spherical would equal about a 12-foot dish, because a dish is round, and a 10-foot square or spherical would have 4 corners with a lot of surface area in them. So that's the kind of, and there's the feed horn. Let me show you the feed horn that we would move around. Now this feed horn was made out of just metal, tin, tin metal. Give me a word, Glenn. Sheet metal.
Well, you got it. Sheet metal.
It was built out of sheet metal.
Caption.
It was built out of sheet metal, and it would go on. It would bolt right to an LNA, a low noise amplifier. We didn't have the LNBs, the low noise block converters, but that would go on an LNB. And then if you look there's a TV rotor laying sideways, and that TV rotor would actually change the polarity by 90 degrees. And your odd channels, like 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, were, say, vertical polarity inside. And to get the horizontal stations, 2, 4, 6, 8, we would turn that TV antenna rotor 90 degrees, and it would rotate the feed horn. So that's kind of how what we did back then. Again, I upgraded my homebrew system with a commercial system later. I finally got me a dish. Actually, I got some surplus dishes. I covered those with screen wire because the holes in them were kind of large. Covered that with screen wire and so forth, and they worked really well. And the dish was motor driven, where inside I could actually move the dish, and it was set up where it would go right through the arc of satellites from one satellite to the other. And so that worked out really, really well for us. Now that was C-band. That was, your 4 gig stuff. That was C-band back then. Uh, C-band back then, it took a fairly good sized dish. An 8-foot dish would be kind of marginal. 10-foot would probably be what most people would get, a 10-foot dish. KU band satellites, this is what I want to talk about now. KU band satellites are interesting to me now. The dishes are anywhere from 30 inches to 40 inches, pretty small dishes. And they're really cheap. And I've been looking at people that are doing this and collecting information. And there are like 150, 200 channels on a given satellite. And this little KU band system will get that. And I'm looking at stations from Mexico and I mean, I'm all types of foreign shows. There's networks. There's all the stuff, and a lot of this stuff is not encrypted. Back in the C-band days, it started encrypting a lot of stuff, but there's still a lot of stuff right now on KU band that's not encrypted at all. There's hundreds and hundreds of channels out there. And I'm looking at the cost of this. And I told you I've been looking for something technical to mess with, play with. All right, we're talking now 11 gigahertz, I think. Yeah, 11 gigs probably for KU band. So what's it going to cost you to put one of these in? Well, I found out that, hey, you can buy a 38-inch dish now for about $100. And get this, back in the early days, I would pay $500 for an LNA. $500, man.
Yep.
And I mean, that was the main part, and we had to break down and buy that. Nowadays, Glenn, you know what an LNB cost for these KU bands now? You can buy them
probably about $12.
$23. $23 for an LNB.
Yep.
And the receivers now, commercially built receivers, are as low as $23 on eBay. I'm looking at one maybe in the $80 range. That has a little bit more, features to it. So for $200, guys, I can put a KU band system out here and experiment with it, aim it at different satellites, play with it, see who I can pick up, and so forth. So I think I'm going to do that. I mean, for $200, my goodness. I mean, you can't hardly go out and take 4 or 5 people out for hamburgers for $200.
So who's using those things these days?
There's a lot of people. In fact, if you look at YouTube, there's all kinds of channels of people. It's called free over the air. Now, this is not your TV stations, but this is satellite stuff. Huh. And in fact, I even looked at a little piece of test equipment today that you can connect to it, and it shows you all the channels on that satellite. And actually, it has a little TV monitor built in it, and you can actually see the picture of what you're tuned into right there on your hand.
Oh, that's cool.
And then you can hook the cable in there and bring it in the house. Hook it to your receiver. Let's see. The Real DJ says, I still have my old video cipher. I still have a video cipher. I have one. Yeah. Video cipher, that was an interesting thing for pay-per-view. I cannot confirm or deny, but there were a lot of people that were able to convert the video ciphers to get movie channels for free back then. But that was, I'm thinking about playing with it. You'll learn things like pointing antennas, and you're working with 11 gigahertz and signals, and just all kinds of stuff. And it'd be really interesting, man. Now, I'm not going to motorize this one right now, where it will go to the next satellite. I'll just have to go manually move it. But like I said, some of these satellites have like 200 channels on them, and
yeah.
I've got a lot of trees in certain areas here. I can hit the satellites directly south and and a clear shot all the way to the west. There's a lot of them out there, so I think I'm gonna bite the bullet and go with that. You can get a little 32-inch dish, a lot cheaper, probably about $80. But you know, the 38-inch gives you a little bit more signal, and I think it's going to be needed. So that's not that much bigger, you know, 38 inches.
Nah,
So that's
not
pretty
really.
small. Yeah. Yeah, let's see. Okay, N7 XGR, long day here. Also had surgery in the morning for a tumor in the bladder. Okay. Well, take it easy there, and man, go get some rest for sure. All right, that was our segment on KU band receivers. Let's see. Let me mark some stuff off here. Handbot was here. 113 was here. MFJ.
See, and I've been putting signals all over the 915 megahertz ISM band this week,
Yeah.
doing some tinkering in the lab.
All right. Let's talk about this boring show. Let's talk about it. And guys, I whoever wrote that, I agree with them. It's hurt me every Tuesday when I come on with a show. A lot of times we don't have enough stuff to really keep you busy and present, but we do what we can. And there was a couple people, you know, on our Facebook group, there was that one post got more answers or replies than I think we had almost 100 replies on that one, man. It stirred up some people, you know. And let me just say, you know, hey, I can take the criticism. I agree the show is boring at times. We'd like to do better. There was one guy. He's not with us anymore. He may be watching tonight, but he's not in our Facebook group. One of the admins booted him. Every word was F this and F that and F this and F that. And you know, we're not going to put up with that in our Facebook group or on the show or anything like that. We try to keep it, you know, fairly decent. And you should be able to talk without talking like that. So, you know, if he wants to come back later, he can try to come back if he cools off a little bit and maybe gets a little bit different vocabulary. Let's see. So Glenn, man, they really shot you down, boy. They told all kinds of lies about you, Glenn. That you hadn't operated in 2 years, and you hadn't done this, and you hadn't done that, and I hadn't even got into what you said about me yet. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh, well, you know, I thought it was actually kind of funny from my perspective of, I'm like you. I've got thick skin. I will take criticism. I will take constructive criticism. I welcome it. But whatever you do, don't make stuff up.
yeah.
If you're going to make stuff up and pass it off as truth to further your argument, which is really, in my opinion, was out of context, yeah, you're going to get an earful back.
Oh yeah.
And that's, you know, I did it politely, and
You
I just
did.
did it factually.
You did, and you didn't get kicked off, did you?
No,
No,
because
no.
I wasn't mad. I was kind of laughing. It's like, this person obviously has no clue what I do.
Yeah.
I mean, when I get in my car every day, the radios automatically power up. I've got rigs here on the shack that are on 24/7.
Yeah.
You know, whenever there's bad weather, I'm right here.
Well,
You
know, I didn't even know it was posted. There was over 65 comments, and I didn't even know they were going on. And my son and Kathy asked me, "Have you seen your Facebook post?" I said, "No, I hadn't seen it yet." I said, "Well, there's some guys on there that's really bad mouthing everything." And I said, and I started laughing. Basically, I said, "Well, you know, that's kind of funny, you know."
Well, you know, and that's the thing. I mean, if there were two people that were as pro New Ham as you and I are, yes, we were in a discussion about things that are happening with New Hams that shouldn't be happening. And they took that totally out of context, that we're against New Hams and everything else. And that couldn't be further from the truth. I work with the local library, and we do ham radio classes for the general public.
Yeah.
You know, so if I was against New Hams, I darn sure wouldn't be doing that.
Well, there was the guy that ranted about me. I think he had about 5 or 6 things that I did, which I didn't do.
No.
I didn't do, but one of the guys, I think one of the guys even felt like I didn't even know what propagation was, and he said, I mean, I know who it is, and I respect him. He's been basically a DJ at an FM radio station, and he listens. He DXs FM radio stations, and he said he's been doing that for 30 years, so he knows what propagation is. Well, I've been a ham for 60, and I'll just leave it at that. I've seen it myself. But anyway, hey guys, if you want to criticize us, you can give us some suggestions. Now, here's the deal, guys. I try to get us some segments every now and then we have some good ones on here. But a lot of times we don't have anybody in here. And I do go out and solicit and try to get people to do some segments on here that might be interesting. For instance, this past week I put out a feel to people. Topic 1 was amateur radio for beginners. I thought that'd be a good topic to discuss. Half-wave in-fed dipoles, that's very popular. A lot of people are getting those now. Parks on the air. I don't do it, but it's very popular. Parks on the air. Stealth antennas. I think a person might need a stealth antenna sometime.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
During his time as a ham. Satellite operators. Real amateur homebrew projects. Now, these are different Facebook groups, too, that I'm members of. And in those groups I just mentioned, there's 71,000 members. All right, guys, I want everybody to remember this. 71,000 people. So I went to 71,000 people this week, asked for help on the show to come up with some segments. Show us something you've done. Show us something you've built. Talk about working DX or just whatever you'd like to talk about. Come on and share something with us. So it went out to 71,000 people. Now, in the chat room, I want everybody to guess out of 71,000 about how many responses I got. Now, I think it's going to surprise you, actually, but how many responses did I get after I sent this out to members of 71,000 members asking for help? Okay, guest 1 says 1, Mark P says 20, Clifton 0, Jim 0. Okay. Anybody? 7. There you go. Everybody's got some pretty good numbers there.
Out of 71,000.
71,000. Now, are you guys shooting low here?
Yeah, the lowest number we got is 20, or the highest number you got is 20.
I went to 71,000 hams, man. 71,000 hams. Asking for help for the show to bring you guys something so the show will not be boring. And here's the answer I got. Here's the answer. I'm going to post it right here. Okay, guys. I asked 71,000 people. Well, I bet you there's more than 100 people active on those groups, to tell you the truth. Let's just say 10,000 were sent messages to. That is what we got. So I don't know why hams always want stuff, but it's hard for them to give stuff. I mean,
well, Brett may have an idea here. Maybe we need to blow up a boat anchor every week.
Blow one up.
Yeah. Do something cool to blow a boat anchor up, or just
maybe
drop it from 100,000 feet, stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, maybe we can explode stuff. You mean like with firecrackers and dynamite, or do you mean just put it over? I mean with electricity.
No, I mean any way, every way possible. Do it different ways.
I mean, I have been known to blow stuff up with electricity. I could probably do that,
Yeah, like the guy who gets shocked working on his projects.
Yeah, that guy you're talking about, Bill, I know him, and if you look at his videos now, they're not like they used to be. He didn't do as much as he used to, but he is a funny guy. Funny guy. Electro Boom, yeah, Electro Boom. I've tried to get Electro Boom on the show here, guys. I've tried communicating with him. I wanted to get him on the show, but hey, maybe he's a ham. He don't want to. He don't want to help out here, So yeah, we do need a good-looking weather girl, guys. And to be honest, I have been looking. I've been looking, and if you guys know any good-looking
And
weather
I'm all
girls,
he can get.
if you guys know of any good-looking weather girls, we'll take all you can get. Just send me their names. I'll contact them. And I haven't talked with Katie in a while. Katie has had some very serious health issues, and this year she's had major surgery. And I'm not so sure that she's doing this real good right now, and I understand why. Katie is still, I consider her still on the show, and she knows she can come back on anytime she feels like it. So we'll have her on here. Yeah, I saw the Christmas lights. Yeah, I saw that deal. We can blow up Christmas lights, I guess. Let's see, exploding capacitors. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe next week I just take a car battery out there and just clamp the jumper cables across it and step back.
Yeah, there you go.
And set it next to my tank of hydrogen out there.
Right.
Yeah. So maybe we do that.
Yeah. Make sure that your homeowner's insurance is paid up, though.
Yeah. So guys, hey, we are trying to do some segments. Again, I just want you to know I'm a busy guy. Even though I'm retired, I got a lot going on. And then there's a lot of things that get in the way too from time to time. And the next 2 to 3 weeks, as they do my both eyes and surgery, that's going to probably put a little bit of hamper. I'm going to try to be on here next Tuesday night. We're going to have a show next Tuesday night. And you may see me, one eye messed up and a pair of glasses with only one lens in it or something. I don't know what you're going to see. But I'll try to be on here next Tuesday. But if anybody has anything that they would like to present, we would love to have you here, makes pickles glow. Well, hey, on our show here, you can only make pickles glow so many times, guys. If you remember, we did a potato-powered radio, a potato-powered transmitter here on the show one night, and had fun doing that. But you can't do it every night.
No.
Yeah, I may have to dress as a pirate next week to show
it is Halloween season, so there's your costume.
The theme next week may be a pirate theme. Glenn, you may have to get you a patch, and I'll get a patch, and we'll do that.
That'll work.
Yeah, let's see. Let me see what else we got here in the chat room. Probably won't work. Yeah. Oh, I can definitely explode stuff. And a lot of times when I explode stuff, it isn't intentional, believe me.
Oh, I know it. I mean,
yeah.
There's nothing worse than you've got a project on the desk and you hear that hiss of a capacitor as it's getting ready to go.
I blew some up last week, guys. I had a 11 dB cable TV amplifier. Nice Scientific America, nice case, 11 dB cable amplifier. Now, sure, it's 72 ohm or 75 ohm, but guess what? I put connectors on that and took my satellite antenna and plugged it into that and plugged it in the back of my radio, and that 11 dB boosted the signal like crazy. That little bit of mismatch didn't cause hardly any problem. But here's the problem. We had that I was using, and that amplifier was broadband. I think it went like 750 to 1000 megahertz, broadband. And so I was amplifying the 432 meg band, okay, and it did help a lot. So I had it on the 432 receive side, and on most all my satellites, you transmit on 2 meters. You transmit on 2, and you receive on 432. So I had the amplifier on there. But guess what? Somehow I picked a satellite later, and I knew this could happen. I picked a satellite later that that was reversed. It was up on 432 and down on 2. And I put 100 watts into that cable amplifier, and it didn't work after that. It did not work. So I just gutted it. I got another one here. I need to put them outside, and they make switchable ones. They make ones that will switch in and out and so forth, and protect them. My problem is I got too much attenuation on all the trees and the leaves, so an amp's not going to help me a whole lot. When I'm in the clear, I got good signals. When I'm going through, 8 tons of green leaves, I don't do as good. It's noisy.
Yeah, I've got a whole line of pine trees to the north, but I've got clear view of just about everything else.
Yeah. Well, and I'm wondering about my KU. Man, there's a lot of trees over here and to the east. Man, I'm totally blocked, and almost to the south I'm blocked. But I opened up from the south to the west, and I looked up some of the directions on some of these satellites that I want to see, and I think I'll be able to see them in this southern to westerly sky. So again, it's not much money, a couple $100, but it'll be some fun. It'll be some fun to aim the dish and see what kind of stations you can get, and you can get foreign stuff on there. You can get news feeds. You get stuff that you just don't see on TV. So, yeah, I can set a tree on fire. Yeah, I blast a hole. Yep, you can do that. Yeah.
Well, let me do this real quick while I'm thinking about it.
Go ahead.
This Saturday is Day in the Park here at Olive Branch City Park. It's going to be from 9 to, I believe it's 3. Yeah, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. We're going to have food and drawings and forums and DX card checkers. We'll have a couple HF stations set up and tailgating. We're also going to have some expensive radio drawings. They're going to sell those tickets for $1 each. But if you just show up, you'll get a free ticket for a lot of the drawings that we're having. Last time, one of the folks here in the chat room won an MFJ cobweb antenna that we gave away. And this is just a free event. Come on down. It's just socializing and having fun. And it's this coming Saturday.
All right. Again, I wish I could come, but I can't. But hey, it's a good thing. There's a lot of people to attend that, guys. You ought to try if you're close by.
We're expecting about 200 people to show up.
It would be well worth going to, and I think you'd have a good time there. And you might win something there too.
Yeah.
All right. Guest 72 says for me to put a tower up. Man, I'd have to put over 100-foot tower up to clear the trees, and that ain't very easy for working on satellite antennas at that altitude either, man. And let me tell you, something always goes wrong with satellite antennas. They get aimed wrong, or they get, they start off like this, and then 2 months later they're kind of like this,
Yep.
And it's I really keep them down low where I can get to them actually here. So hey, to debunk a rumor that's going around, I'm not against new hams. I'm not against recruiting new hams. I'm kind of concerned about the way some of them are recruited. It's kind of like, let's go out on the street and see if we can round up about 50 people and get them their license. Then you get them, you herd them together, you take them in the room and you say, okay, here's a couple sheets of paper. There's 50 questions on here. I want you to memorize the answers to all these questions. I'm going to come back in 2 hours, and we're going to see if you pass the test. And then, a couple of them, several of them, now, man, they're hams now. And like Chris was telling me the other day, I don't know if it was somewhere down where he lives or something. He got on a repeater, I think, and said, could somebody tell me where to buy a dipole? Now he's on a repeater. Tell me where to buy a dipole. And someone asked him, well, a dipole for like what band? He says, I don't care what band. I just want to buy a dipole. Well, there you go. He may be a tech only. I don't know. If he is, maybe he needs a dipole for 10. I don't know. You know. And I really, oh man, and it hurts me when people, okay, man, I got my license now. What kind of radio do I need? Well,
Right. Well, and that's, we mentioned this at that time. That's where I think we're failing in the mentoring department. Something else that we can be doing now is ARRL has realized this too, and they've got a whole magazine for this, called On the Air, and it's dedicated to new hams.
Yeah.
So,
yeah,
we
tell
just
them
have
what
to-
they can do. Tell them what they can do,
Yeah,
and
we need
let
to
them
do
read
a better
about
job
it.
of mentoring.
Yeah, let
these
them read
new
about it and say,
hams.
"Oh, you mean I can talk to foreign countries, and I can do
Exactly.
this, and I can do that, and I can do this." Instead, it's like, "Let me get your tech license. Now, what can I do?" Well, we'll get you this handy-talkie here, and you can talk on this handy-talkie. And then of course they'll probably learn that there's much more to ham radio than that. But I really think that we need to do a better job in recruiting people, because I just wonder, what percentage, if you recruit 100 people like I mentioned a while ago, in 2 or 3 years, will 10% still be hams? I don't know.
Yeah.
You know.
And this is the one thing that I have to credit the FCC and everybody back in the day with the novice license. We didn't have VHF privileges back then. Or if we did, it was on 2 meters, and we couldn't get 2 meter rigs back then.
Yeah.
And, so, I mean, and my rig, all I had was a beam for 15 meters and 3 crystals for 15 meters. I spent my entire novice time working 15 meters in a, who knows what solar cycle, and I still got into it because you never knew who you were going to talk to the next day. I mean, it was that's how I got my start years ago. And I'm not going to encourage anybody to go that route today, but I think the biggest thing that we need to do is, yes, recruit. We need to get out there and introduce the world to ham radio. A lot of the times, I just did a seminar at the library this summer and had some nice young folks there that want to go for their license. But you can't just stop once they get their license. If you bring them in and recruit, help them, tape them under your wing, introduce them to these other modes, take them to field day and be their coach, be their mentor. Don't just, here's your license, go, now get out of here. You can't do that.
Yeah. Let me, I need to do one little correction here. The real DJ, not being critical, but I just want to correct something here. You're kind of correct. You said satellite is 13,000 miles up. Actually, the geosynchronous satellites, like the KU I was talking about earlier, I think they're 12,300 miles or something, right, close to 13,000. And that means you got a 250 millisecond propagation going up and a 250 milliseconds coming down. So you got a half a second delay whether it goes up and then comes back down. And if you have to go, back and forth twice, that's a whole second. Ham radio satellites are not 13,000 miles. Ham radio satellites are about 200 miles high. They're in what we call LEO, or low Earth orbit. And so there's very little propagation delay there. So they're actually moving. They're not in a geosynchronous orbit where you can put an antenna on them and they don't seem to move. They're constantly moving. So that's why in ham radio, our antennas are azimuth elevation, and the program actually tracks the satellite as it makes its pass over. The nice thing about the geosynchronous satellites, the 12,000, 13,000 miles out, is it's in a geosynchronous position right there on the equator. And it's turning the same speed as the Earth, and you aim the antenna at it, and the antenna stays aimed at it. You know, you don't have to move the antenna there to track it. So that's the difference between the geosynchronous satellites and the ham radio satellites. Now, there is one ham radio satellite that is in geosynchronous orbit right now, but that's over, I think it's India. I think Europe and India use it. I don't remember what it's called, Q100 or something like that.
Yeah, we tried launching one back in the late 70s, the Phase 3, the 3B or whatever, and it blew up on the pad, so we never got that, and it's been kind of on the back burner ever since.
Yeah.
I mean, I was drooling to get a geosynchronous satellite. You know, I still would love for them to do it. Yeah,
and the real DJ, he said he was talking about the old C-band stuff, C-band KU. That is correct. It's up more than 12,000. It's between 12 and 13,000 miles.
I want to know what scrapyard he's going to that he's finding an Azel rotor laying in the pile.
Who's that? Who found one?
The real DJ.
Really?
He was at a scrapyard yesterday, and an Azel rotor was laying in the pile.
Well, that's pretty cool, man. If you found
I
one.
mean, this is my kind of scrapyard.
Yeah, mine too, man. Yeah. I think I just paid about $800 for my azimuth elevation rotor.
Oh yeah, I paid about the same for mine. And then
guess what? And then to separate them, you know, to put them separate, I had to buy another $100 of U-bolts, clamps, and stainless steel hardware.
Exactly.
Just to separate them. You know. Oh man. Woo. Anyway, hey, I've had fun tonight, and hey, I'm not upset with anybody out there. If you got criticism, give it to us. We can take it.
Yeah, no problem. You know, just be honest and tell the truth, and don't make stuff up.
Yeah. Just don't do it. And
you know, I mean,
help us with our boring show here, guys. If you guys have something to help us with our boring show here.
Yeah.
You know,
bring it.
I mean, there. You know, you can see it right there, man. You know, you can see the effort I made this week to try to find something on here. I sure thought I'd get one or two people from one of these.
See, and this is why I'm here every week. I'm the only thing he can get. So,
yeah. And Glenn has been very faithful to come on the show here.
I enjoy doing it. It's a lot of fun for me.
Yeah. You know, I mean, we've had some interesting things on before, and we have guests like Astronaut Wheelock. He's been on here several times, and he's been in the studio here a few times with us. Went to Dayton with us, I think, 8 years straight. You know, we've had, you know, Martin. We've had, you know, we used to have radio waves on here to talk about antennas and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't get radio waves anymore. They, you know, I don't know. I know they've had a lot of health problems with family, and I have emailed them and offered to try to get them back on for the past year. I don't get any.
Well, and it's kind of gotten to the point that, you know, if they're going to do a show, they're going to do their own show.
Yeah.
There's a lot of that going on, and you know, more power to them.
This show, it's been a little tough. This show has been on. In February, the show has been on 10 years, weekly for 10 years. I mean, that's quite an achievement, I think. And
I'll never forget the one I did the very beginning with 3 hours of live Arduino stuff.
Yeah, and you know, man, I look back.
We could have kept going all night.
I look back at some of the early shows. Boy, the quality was just really bad. You know, we've learned a lot and upgraded and did a lot to make improvements over the years, and I see even tonight we're in full stereo, both left and right channels. The little gremlin got us a couple weeks ago, and we were only in mono on one side, you know. Well, anyway, hey guys, it's about 9:30. It's about time to sign off here, at least on our shortwave segment. So let me just say this to all our shortwave listeners, guys. This show is called Amateur Radio Roundtable. It's about ham radio, shortwave listening. Electronics. We're glad to have you if you're listening on shortwave. If you out there are listening on shortwave, it's Thursday between 5 and 7 p.m. Eastern time. So our show, our audio is a little delayed by a few days from real time. If you'd like to join us real time and see the video and join us in our chat room and talk with us, you can just go to w5kub.com, w5kub.com. Hey, send us an email if you can. Hey, WBCQ, boy, we're glad we're on there. We're reaching some people out there around the world. And hey, we're on just about every podcast out there, iTunes, iNet Radio, Google Play, you name it, we're out there. Just look for Amateur Radio Roundtable, and you'll find us out there. Join our Facebook group. Our Facebook group is called, it's called Amateur Radio Roundtable, but that's too long. Just put in W5KUB, and it'll bring you to our Facebook group with about 14,000 people in it. So, guys, we enjoyed talking with you tonight. It's been a whirlwind here. The next couple weeks is going to be interesting for me. Glenn and I may wear eye patches next week.
There you go.
Yeah. So I'm just going to say 73 to everybody. That's good night to everybody, and we'll see you next week. And if you're interested in doing a segment, 10-minute segment, 15-minute segment, show some pictures, show us something you built, give a presentation. I don't care. Just contact us. Would love to have you. Good night, everybody, and we will see you later. I'm looking for something to close with here. I don't know what I'm going to close with. Hey, let's look. What about this?
So you're saying I can ask
There
this
we
cat
go.
any question?
The cat is connected to the computer. You just type in the question, it will read his mind. There the answer comes.
You're the man! I've been looking for this for weeks.
All right, I guess that's good enough to close on.
So
right
you're
there.
saying I can ask this
Hey,
cat any question?
Hambot will be
The
sending that
cat is
meter out
connected
to our
to the
winner
computer. You
probably
just
tomorrow.
type in the question, it will read his
Congratulations.
mind.